Sandstorm.
We want
That's gonna be
Sandstorm.
my new thing, man.
Oh, you weren't even there. Fuck you.
Stanley Fergus wasn't there either.
Pretty much.
Your consciousness.
Oh, because my brain, we're in attic, and it's usually like fucking like 15 quid for a water. And then the fact there was like £2 for mixers, I was like, well, I better just get five
There was
every
also,
time.
like, it was
And there was
really-
no queue.
Yeah, it was really weird how quiet it kind of was.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not like Darude.
How dare you?
He's not Drake. He's
Like,
gonna-
but the tickets sold out. Like, Darude was sold out. We went there Saturday night,
Yeah.
free, well, like
I've-
lower entry, cheaper drinks. It was fucking empty.
I've
many
never
times-
gone to attic and not had to queue.
No.
And we got there and walked straight in.
Yeah, because last time I was in Attic, it was
There's just
beyond
no one at the
packed.
bar.
Well, that was the fresh room.
That was like
Put the ball.
that was
Yeah.
like
So that
beyond, I couldn't even move.
That makes sense. But
Yeah.
yeah, like every
I
time
was-
I've been to Attic, I've always
Yeah.
had to queue. It's
Yeah.
always taking ages, and it makes me not want to go in because you've done that queue for ages.
Yeah.
Some wank behind you. going, oh, we're gonna go in and pull a bunch of birds, and you're like, shut the fuck up.
And also,
Barts.
my zip burst like halfway through. 'Cause I
Wait,
had,
wait, your zipper?
no, because I had these new black jeans, and they, I guess,
Oh, right,
and I
okay.
bought them pretty cheap, and so the zip like burst immediately, and so I had to keep running into the bathroom to try and like fix it. But yeah, and every time I would just run straight into the cubicle, no queue.
Oh my god.
There was one time I was fixing it, and a guy started banging on the door. I'm like, in a minute, I'm just... Probably thought I was running in there to do cocaine or something.
Yeah, right, yeah. I remember I was speaking to people that are like that, like, I'm going to pick up birds. It was that thing Lawrence told me when you were in the cinema, and the guys came up.
Oh, when I was at Banshee
This
Labyrinth.
is one of the funniest things. Have
Was
you
that
heard this
Banshee?
story?
No?
Oh, okay,
I
go.
must have. I was at Banshee Labyrinth watching a film, and these three guys came in and sat behind me. And I could just hear them talking, and we were just like, alright, we're going to go to Hive early doors, right? And you just go for like a quick early pool. But just to get out of the way, right? But here's the thing, right? Okay, your name's going to be Brian, your name's going to be like...
Oh, yeah.
They come up with like names.
just came up with fake names, like, alright, and it's like, end of the night, we either meet back here, and if we don't meet back here, we'll just assume you've pulled and you're away with the guy.
You
And
know
I was so tempted to just follow him to Hive and be like, Chad! How's it going, dude?
This is the reason why women are afraid to walk home at night. Men like that are like the reason why.
Fucking arseholes.
Yeah, total.
Scared of shads.
Alrighty.
Okay, how have you guys been? How's your week been?
Oh, wow. I've been in the cinema a lot this week.
When was the last time we met up?
Yeah, I was going to say it's been a couple weeks.
It has been quite a long time.
After us.
Oh,
After us?
yeah.
Yeah.
We talked about us, we recorded. Yeah, it's been about 2 weeks. Well, you guys went to Darude.
We did. We went to Darude. Saw him, met him,
Well,
shook hands.
Wait, did you actually meet him?
No.
Oh, you could
He was right there, though.
You could like walk straight up though.
Pretty much.
Yeah, because it's not like security.
Like he was just.
He's
Well,
in
there
like,
are,
because he's in like a kind of little booth, and you
Yeah.
could like just like stand beside him and be like, Darude, hi.
I saw some tweet that some guy like went up and asked him if he was he wanted to go smoke. So he was like, "Dude, you're gonna play Sandstorm? I'm gonna go smoke." He's like, "Nah, you're good. Go outside." And he missed it.
Oh, that's great. Darude's a legend.
Darude's a prick.
It's like Sandstorm. I'm not gonna play that. I'm gonna play my best hit. I've got the beat. What was it?
It was Feel
Oh,
the Beat.
Feel the Beat.
Feel the Beat.
We
Oh, it's Feel the
want
Best.
Sandstorm. The best.
So yeah, it's been 2 weeks.
You know what I found as well? The week before, we were at Lewis's thing, and I looked on my camera roll, and I have a video of just me hiccuping.
What? No way.
It's me walking home.
How drunk did you get?
Just this weird video, and I'm just hiccuping.
Wait.
So,
Who are you talking to? When was
no,
this?
it's just someone around me. I'm walking home alone, and somehow I put my camera on.
You're in the same shirt.
Yeah, I am.
Didn't you also like drunk message some Tinder people?
Oh yeah.
Oh, no.
No, but it turned out pretty good in the end.
Yeah,
Oh, did it?
I went on a second date with one yesterday.
Oh,
Went
wow.
pretty nice. Went pretty nice.
Hang on, I've got
Paradise
things.
Palms. Paradise Palms.
So
No,
I got from the 10th of March. I've got a great photo that I took
Oh,
at
yeah.
3:50 a.m. of first.
We've had a lot of drunken adventures
Yeah.
recently where Dylan and I went to a park for some reason.
Yeah, we're in a park. It looks like you're like hugging someone. Actually, I can't quite tell. Oh, hang on.
I remember.
Oh, there you are. You're transforming into him. So it looks like one of those paranormal.
What the fuck? Is that guy with goggles or something?
I think he's got
I
glasses.
remember I looked at my timeline of us going back from the club, and it's just like it's like it's like you left your phone on, and it somehow opens Microsoft Paint, and it just like scribbles everywhere. It's the weirdest fucking.
Oh yeah,
thing.
because you got like a mapping thing, don't
Yeah,
you? that
yeah, yeah,
tells us
follows
where
my
you-
location and stuff.
That's
It's a
fantastic.
handy feature.
Yeah, well, because definitely when you're hammered,
Oh, it's
Absolutely, yeah.
amazing. Yeah.
I got locked out of my house that night.
Oh, yeah.
Fergus had offered me to stay, and I was like, nah, I'm gonna go to my own bed and get a good sleep. And then I got locked out of my house, and I was just wandering around the streets at like, and I remember there was a police car. I was like, I'll just talk to him. He'll get me in my house. And then I went up to him, and he was asleep in the police car. I went, oh, and I just walked away. It was a wild night, and then it rained on me. I was actually pretty miserable. The more I think about it. Anyway, that was a while ago. Okay, what else have we met? So. Well, I'm going to talk about all the movies I've seen a little bit later on.
Right.
I think I'm going to
Okay.
spare because obviously I'm going to talk about
I
Hellboy.
want Hellboy talk.
You want Hellboy stuff?
I'm so excited.
I'm obviously going to talk about Hellboy in a bit. I don't think I should talk about Hellboy now. I think we should do the news first, and then I'll get to
Thing
Hellboy.
you say?
Yeah, I'll get to Hellboy and Pet Sematary. That was the other movie I saw. Pet Sematary. That was the movie.
Pet Cemetery.
Pet Sematary. And Greta, and I'll talk a little bit about Shazam as well.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah. Alright.
I saw Us Again.
Us
Yeah,
again.
I've seen Shazam twice now as well.
Whoa.
I took my nephew to see it the second
Oh.
time. Yeah. Not like I went by myself in a trench coat.
You did the first time.
Oh, yeah. Well, that was different though, Lawrence.
One to
I've got
Shazam,
some-
please.
Oh, I'm just waiting for a friend.
I've got so many.
Excuse me, do you know if there's a post-credit scene in this movie? Is
I
that
like
Aquaman
when he
in it?
says Shazam.
I've got so many bad cinema stories as well, just from my experiences this past month. So, and so have you. So,
Have I told you?
yeah, you told us the one.
I told you about the Us girl.
Yeah, you mentioned on our chat.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
that's great.
I'll tell that story.
Yeah, the second time I went to see Us, as the film started, there was two girls behind us, and William just turned to her friend and went, "Apparently, this is based on a true story." I just started killing myself. Because obviously, I know
what
what's
does
gonna
she
happen.
mean though?
Yeah. I was
Like,
gonna say, where would she even heard that?
I don't know. Maybe she thought like
I
the
think.
home invasion stuff was like based on real stuff.
No, I think it's because she probably got confused because Hands Across
Yeah,
America
that's what I'm
was a real
thinking.
thing.
Where she was like,
Maybe.
maybe Hands Across America. was a movie.
For 5 minutes of the film, I could still laugh.
Which I found out that apparently Hands Across America was like a big, massive scam.
Yeah, it was a failure.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they had to like fund a whole bunch of money to actually just get it to go in the
Yeah.
first place. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay then. Do you wanna? I'll save my bad cinema stories for when I talk about the movies as well. But do you want to run through some of the news?
Sure. Right. So we haven't done a podcast in a while, or potentially ever, since this might be the first one.
Yeah.
As all our episodes are potentially the first episode.
Yeah. We're
But-
not going to release Samurai Cop then, no.
No.
That's,
So,
that's gonna be a
we got
bonus
some stuff-
special when we're famous.
That should. Oh, we should like lock it behind the paywall.
That's gonna be like no,
15 quid.
it'll be a thing
Join
where
our
like
Patreon.
it'll be like I'll have like a sensor that when it detects that like I'm dead, it's just gonna release it to the world.
Oh no.
Okay, so we got some news to catch up on.
Mm.
Fucking- the thing that makes me love the internet in 2019 is that Jim Carrey basically he posted a painting
Oh,
of the hanged Mussolini, and then Mussolini's granddaughter called him a bastard. And I love that we're in a world where that can happen.
Mussolini's granddaughter.
It's amazing.
That's pretty amazing.
It's
Yeah.
so funny. Like, yeah, that's crazy.
Jim Carrey's gone a bit crazy though, hasn't he?
Yeah.
He's
Did
got
you
a
watch?
huge beard.
what does he do now?
He like,
Yeah,
he just
actor.
paints now. Oh, he's Robotnik in Sonic the Hedgehog movie.
Oh my god! I showed
Oh,
you the leaked
shit.
script.
Yeah, I still fucking read it. Where
Yeah,
I think I, saved
showed,
it.
so there's a leaked,
Oh my
we got
God.
leaked stuff from the trailer, and I remember me and Fergus were on Twitter trying to decode what it meant because
Oh,
the
yeah.
dialogue is so horrendous.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. It just looks so bizarre. It looks like. You know Marvel, right? They implement new ideas, but they kind of keep it faithful to the
Yeah,
character.
like
at least.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
This is like nothing like that. Sonic escapes his birth planet as a baby. Rings are how Sonic got to Earth. He can throw one and imagine a place, and it will take him there.
What?
So they're like some weird teleportation thing.
It's like sounds like Lion Witch in the
He's
Wardrobe.
found by an owl and grows up on Earth.
Wait, that's not real. Is that real?
He's
This
like
is-
Superman.
This is leaked, yeah. I think the stuff
An
that did
owl?
get confirmed. Ends up alone after some time and grows up as a kid. He pretty much scavenges, lives in the shadows. He's called the Blue Devil, so he becomes like this weird local legend. And then Robotnik, he's like the scientist.
They
And
don't.
finds
Voiced
like
by
these...
Jim Carrey.
Oh, he's gonna be played by Jim Carrey, not just
What?
voiced. He's
What?
gonna
Oh, it's
be
not animated. Oh, I
No,
suppose it's
it's
CGs
gonna be
and
live
stuff.
action.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wait, isn't like isn't Doctor Robotnik like fat?
Yeah,
Like
just put him
bald.
in a
Yeah, he's
suit.
like a weird fat dude. Yeah.
Oh my god. This is good.
Uh,
I'm
I
getting
suppose
like
all they've got to go off of with Sonic is he's a blue hedgehog that runs fast. So they just have to make up a bunch of shit.
how dare you, Lawrence? There's so much lore. There's so much
You ever
comic
played
books.
Sonic Unleashed?
There's Sonic Underground.
I've never played like the
Sonic
first
X.
Sonic on Sega Mega Drive.
Dude, Sonic X just got a Blu-ray release.
A what?
Do you remember that anime?
Oh yeah,
Sonic
yeah,
X
yeah,
just
yeah,
got a
yeah.
Blu-ray release. It looked
Oh,
good.
there was the cartoon. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm watching the
There's like a
cartoon.
million Sonic cartoons. There's him being like a freedom fighter on his planet of
Oh
Mobius.
my god.
I know this shit. So yeah, and then apparently how Sonic and his best friend the cop have they meet up because they're going to be best pals.
Who's-
Is that a buddy cop film?
Yeah,
Oh
Who
my
plays the
god.
cop?
Sonic
Who
and-
plays the cop?
I think it's no John Ralphio voices Sonic, and I think it's the guy who plays Cyclops.
Oh, what, Ty Sheridan?
No, original Cyclops.
Oh, I don't know. I
Yeah,
can't remember.
that guy.
Yeah.
Uh,
Scott something, I believe it is.
So they meet because Sonic
Is
is
that a character name?
No, it's Scott something. It's his character name. Yep. I don't know the actor.
and yeah, so they meet up because Sonic is rummaging around in his like rubbish,
Oh,
and
'cause
then
he's
he
like a
tranks
hedgehog.
him. Yeah, and he tranks him because he thinks it's like a raccoon, and he's like, "Oh no, I just drank something that's got weird."
I'm
stuff."
trying to like visualize this, and I actually can't visualize it.
And then it specifically goes
It's gonna
like,
be art. It's gonna be good.
apparently Sonic's gonna floss at one point.
Oh, Shazam flossed, so it can be.
Don't like.
Don't shoot.
Sorry, do you know what spoilers?
Don't put memes. Don't put memes in your films because it immediately dates them. Because like
Yeah.
by the time your film comes out,
Yeah.
the meme's gone.
There was a trend in like the early 2000s to shove like shite rock songs at the end of movies on the in the credits,
yeah.
and so it instantly dates the movie because you're like, oh, this is like Nickelback. It's like Spider-Man did that. Nickelback is in the soundtrack.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
like, it's things like that. Just don't like date your movie instantly. It instantly dates it.
This also specifies other Sonic characters in the movie. None. It's just Sonic and Eggman.
Wait, so there's no tails?
Oh, no tails, no
No
knuckles.
tails, no
Yeah,
knuckles.
tails-
Shadow.
You got at least
They're
stuff
all
for the sequel.
puns. Right. Okay. It's gonna
So-
see. Oh, the sequel.
Basically, I'm very excited. And they describe Eggman as he is now hefty and rocking the full-blown stash.
Great. What's the budget? Probably like $500 million or something stupid like
I think it probably will be
It'll probably be
like,
really
like
expensive,
100
yeah.
million plus.
We got to talk about the fact that Doctor Dolittle cost $175
Oh, yeah.
million.
You saw this?
Oh,
But
you-
there's a new Doctor Dolittle, and you know why? Because they've got every fucking actor
Do
ever.
they have Eddie Murphy?
No, they've
Okay.
got Robert Downey Jr.
So
Oh,
it's
hell
called,
yeah.
So it's called Voyage of Doctor Dolittle.
This is the new MCU.
It's coming out in 2020.
Yeah,
Voyage of Dr. Dolittle. January 2020.
Yeah, you know, where every good movie.
It's got Robert Downey Jr., Tom Holland, Rami Malek, Ray
It's just
Fiennes,
MCU.
Jesse Buckley, I don't know who that is, Emma Thompson, Michael Sheen, Camille Nanjiani, Selena Gomez, it's someone, Marion Cotillard, John Cena, Antonio Banderas, Jim Broadbent, Octavia Spencer, Craig Robinson. I think that's it.
And then a bunch. This
So I
is gonna be
guess
the best
that-
film ever.
So I guess they're all doing like voices for all the
Yeah,
like
yeah.
animals and stuff.
It's surprised me Marion Cotillard
But-
was doing it.
Yeah. So that's gonna be mental.
Who's
No.
who's Doctor Dolittle?
Robert Downey Jr.
Robert Downey Jr. Tom Holland is Jip.
Robert Downey Jr. is just going
Rami
from
Malek is
going from high
Chi-Chi.
to the top.
Rami Malek's a
Ray
big fan of
Fiennes
his
is
mum's.
Barry. Michael Sheen's Mudfly.
Mudfly.
Camille Nanjiani is Plimpton. You know, John Cena is Yoshi.
What?
Is that a joke?
This is a real film.
Yeah, it's real.
It's really it's coming out. Antonio Banderas.
It's gonna have us 170
Oh
million.
my god! Wait, go down.
budget.
Wait, sorry. That's no, don't even throw it to the other movies. Look, that's the one. Will Smith's a bird.
Oh, Spies in Disguise.
Will Smith's a pigeon.
Wait, there's Sonic the Hedgehog. Shut up.
Well, the poster.
A cop in the rural town of
Wait.
Green Hills will help. Wait, so Green Hills is on Earth?
I thought it's called. Wait, hang on. It's called Green Hill Zone, isn't it? That's
Yeah, Green Hill Zone. It's like yeah.
okay,
James Marsden. That's It's gonna
Oh,
be
fab.
Big Man Tom.
Check out the cast on that. It's got like.
It's gonna be so
movies.
good. I'm so excited.
Yeah, me too. I'm pretty excited. All right, okay.
Let's
What-
move on.
Yeah,
Can't- Can't wait to see this
we're
trailer.
30 minutes. We're not even at the.
40 minutes.
Wait, hang on. Where's the recording time? Oh yeah.
Well,
yeah,
in time with it.
yeah. Okay.
Okay.
What's some other things we got to talk about?
I've been watching a show called Ultraman on Netflix.
Oh, I've heard about this.
Do you guys, how much of
I've
heard-
Ultraman do you know?
nothing.
I've heard about Ultraman via the Weekly Planet podcast.
Right.
Sounds like
okay.
anime shite.
It's anime now. Basically, like Ultraman is like this big, massive icon in Japan. Like the only thing you could link it to is like Harry Potter here, where it just makes like billions every year. There's always like a movie every like once a year, or like maybe there'll be a break of like 2 years and then another movie. There's always like a show going on. Yeah, so it's like big massive thing. And so now there's like a new reboot for it, just called Ultraman on Netflix, and it's like the 3D anime, and it's basically like 20 years later. So I should explain the basic story, right? And so Ultraman, he's basically made by the guy who did the special effects for Godzilla, and
Wait, the 1950.
yeah,
Okay.
IG Tsuburaya, so he created it. And basically, Lawrence, you're sounding really intrigued here. Basically, Ultraman is this weird alien spirit that possesses a man on Earth after he accidentally crashes into him on his plane. And so Ultraman then possesses this man so he gets superhuman abilities, grows to 50 meters tall, and he fights aliens. And he's aided by the Science Patrol. And so
The
they
Science Patrol.
the Science Patrol.
Is
good
it
name.
actually called Science
Yep,
Patrol?
yep.
Science Patrol.
And so yeah, so then like they fight, and so now it's like this new anime is like 20 years after Ultraman left, and basically the whole world's been changed. Everyone loves Ultraman because he's a savior, and now it's like a passing of the torch where aliens are coming back, need to fight. So now the person who used to be Ultraman, all his memories like vanished of when he actually was Ultraman. And that actually is kind of interesting. Like it basically starts with like they go to like this opening of the Ultraman museum, and then this little like dumbass kid falls off a banister like 3 stories down, and they're
Is
like,
it
"Holy
animated?
shit!"
It's animated.
Yeah, it's like
Okay.
3D
Oh,
animated.
3D animation. Okay.
And then he just like the dad like goes and picks him and is like, "Oh, he's fine." He just runs off and like the kid just fell like 3 stories and he's like he just got like a bit of like a skin knee or whatever. And yeah, and then it cuts to like 15 years later. The kid's a teenager and he's gonna have to
Is he
take
the
up
main
Ultraman.
character? He's the main
Yeah.
character.
Yeah.
Okay.
And like yeah, so there's like fun stuff where like he's got superhuman abilities, kind of like hereditary
It's
from
got
his
some.
dad.
It's got some.
He accidentally
mates, doesn't
he accidentally breaks a gangster's hand, and then like all his friends like hate him for it.
Wait, is this on Netflix?
Yeah,
Okay.
so it's all out. So
Probably not gonna watch it.
it's
not
it's
gonna watch it.
it's fun. I like it.
I don't know. I don't
Well, that
know.
was Fergus's anime corner.
I don't know.
What was it? All right, so you guys don't want to watch Ultraman? It's fun. It's fun. Yeah, those old 3D one, the 3D anime ones always look weird, but yeah. Anyway,
Anyway,
you want to talk
is
about?
this like what it would be if I was just? Is this what it must feel like when I talk about Transformers?
Right.
This is what it must feel like.
Yeah, but this is interesting.
Nah, shut up. Transformers has been interesting since day one. Okay,
All right.
come on. We got to talk about the. We got to talk about. Well, I can see your list here. Do you want to talk about which one would you want to go first between these two? Let's do the black hole first.
Yeah, there's not really an option, right? Black hole.
Yeah,
Saw
black
a
hole got
picture.
released. Yeah,
We're
yeah.
not a science podcast. So
Yeah, we're not.
it's
We're
pretty
more
cool.
films. But the black hole, I will say though, it's pretty disappointing, isn't
It's
it?
got some pretty cool fan anime or
It's just,
fan
just,
art.
it's just black,
It's just, a
innit?
hole, it's just a hole in it. I mean, like really, like ultimately, I think it
I can do that. I've seen holes.
Yeah. Oh,
Love
have
that film.
you? All right, let's move on.
Okay.
Okay, let's talk about the Lion King.
Let's
trailer.
briefly talk about the Lion King trailer.
Okay.
Basically, what do you think about
Is there a
Lion?
new trailer?
Yeah.
Oh, Lawrence, you've been
Okay,
doing your
I've
research.
been working on that.
Oh.
Didn't watch the trailer, no.
Oh, well, I've seen it.
Yeah, I saw it. So basically, it's just like it looks like it's just pretty much like very close to frame by frame the original 2D
Yeah.
animated, but just this weird 3D animated, and then
Yeah.
any like they barely show any of the animals actually talking because
Yeah,
when they do,
it's like
it just
2 shots.
looks fucking weird,
Yeah, it looks bad.
like worse than like Jungle Book.
Yeah, this is directed, by the way. It's going to be directed by, or it is directed by Jon Favreau.
John Favreau, yeah,
Do you like John Favreau?
I do. I like John. Who doesn't love Chef?
And it's got a good cast.
It does have a good cast.
it does,
But-
but so does
Oh,
every
So do all these movies.
yeah.
And I want to say as well, the one thing that's got me is I'm not a huge fan of Lion King in the first place. I'm not really into those kind of Disney movies. However, it had a good visual style. This has no
Yeah.
visual style at all.
No.
All the characters look really generic. They just look like
Well, yeah,
it's
they're just like
it looks like I'm watching National Geographic or something like that. It's just like I don't understand the point. You know
because
what I mean?
they have that shot in the new trailer where it's like that really classic shot where it's like
The Fear of the
Simone.
Yeah, they're walking
Yeah, it's like
in the moon.
Timon and Pumbaa, and then like they walk across the log, and he gets older. It's like a really nice shot. Like they go into like
Yeah.
looks great.
Dancing away.
Yeah, and then now it just looks shite. It's
Yeah.
just like there's just no
I think
character.
I shared the tweet with you. It's a great
It's
tweet
pretty
where it's just
soulless.
like it's just like imagine having like all this animators in the 90s that had to draw all this. Fucking idiots could have just CGI'd it. Yeah, I think I shared it with you.
Yeah, but
I shared a lot of tweets with you.
I feel bad for the Disney animators that didn't have CGI 1984. Just had to draw Lion King by hand like dumbasses. lines didn't even look real.
LMAO, what a waste of time. That's great. I love that. All right. Okay.
Yeah, it just it's
Yeah.
another notch in the Disney remake
Yeah,
Armageddon.
but I'll see it. Like I see everything, which is we're gonna get into that about all the movies I've had to sit through this month.
What do you want to talk about now? All the movies you said to do?
What other, wait,
Dylan's
hang on.
film corner.
Is there just any other trailers that I want to talk about briefly?
No.
Star
Oh,
Wars.
okay. Well, let's save Star Wars for last,
Save
yeah.
Stars for later.
Because that's a huge discussion.
Tell me about your recent film.
Okay. Which
Trips.
movie would you guys want to hear about first?
Hellboy. Hellboy. Hellboy.
I spoke to Fergus a little bit about Hellboy. Okay. So Hellboy, which
He's
is
the Red Man.
yeah, he's the Red Man, played by David Harbour. In theory, directed by Neil Marshall. I'm going to put that in scare quotes because he had nothing to do. So I want to talk about that first. So Lawrence, do you know the history of the troubled production? Thank you. Do you know the history of the troubled production for this movie? It's
Do not enlighten me.
And I've told you a little bit about the troubled production.
Well, wasn't it initially meant to be like actually like a gory kind of R-rated film?
Which is what it is. It's a 15. It's an R in America, yeah. Hence why it made. Oh, I'll do box
It
office.
looked like it was made for the teens.
That's true. That's because you didn't see the Red Band trailer where they go.
It was
Hellboy
made
goes,
for-
fuck this, and like cuts people's heads off or whatever.
It was made for cool guys like us who
Yeah.
love Deadpool, Fortnite.
Well, I spoke about this already. I mentioned to Fergus, but like I was watching this, and this is a kind of movie where I can, because Neil Marshall had nothing to do with this. I'm going to get into that, but I can feel the contempt of like the studio on its Lionsgate that produced it, and it just is a movie made for idiots. Like I feel like everyone that enjoys movies like that, they like don't deserve to watch other movies. Like this movie is really garbage. Right, I'm going to talk about. So, firstly, box office. It made 12 million on a $50 million budget this opening weekend. It opened at number 3 behind a movie called Little.
Really?
That nobody,
Never heard of
that
that.
nobody's
I've
even heard of.
that.
There you
Never
go.
heard of that.
And it got beat by Shazam, and Shazam's in its second weekend. So there you go. And Shazam's in its third
No,
weekend.
it's a slow burner, right? It's
Oh,
gonna
sorry.
hit a strike.
It's gonna be like Titanic, you know. It just
Yeah, Titanic didn't make much its first week.
consistently just.
Yeah, it's on course for 2 billion. It's just taken a long time to get there. Okay, so right, Neil Marshall, who's director of one of our favorite, I think our collective favorite movie, which is Dog Soldiers, which is a great
right.
film.
And Descent. Descent's an amazing
And
film.
Descent's also really, really
I
good.
love
Yeah.
Descent a lot.
So and he did something else.
He's done like some of the best episodes of Game of Thrones
right.
as well.
Okay, so he's clearly got
A
talent.
very competent director.
Very competent. So this movie's not competent, and that makes me think that okay, he wasn't. So as soon as I got out of this, I was like, he didn't direct this. I had to Google it. So the studio basically didn't let him have. You guys care about spoilers about this movie? Well, spoilers for Hellboy. Do you actually care?
Like what is there? Is there like
No,
a
this
big
is
massive
not,
twist or something?
No, there's no twist.
Okay.
This
He's
is
blue.
He's not
It's Heaven Boy.
It's Heaven Boy. And no, there's no.
He's Heaven Man.
There's no real twist. No.
Would that be
it's a plot
amazing? Where
point.
like he grows up, he's like, I'm no longer a boy. I'm Heaven Man. He's like, da-da-da-da.
There's no twist. It's just a plot point, a kind of important plot point, but it's not like who cares. It's really like honestly. So in the film, Mila Jovovich plays the villain, the Blood Queen Nimue, and yeah, I know. And she dies at the start. She's killed by King Arthur, and yeah, I know. I'm gonna get into the whole. And then basically, the way she's kind of survived throughout the centuries is she puts her blood into a tree. So she's the Blood Queen or whatever. So Neil Marshall on set went, I want the tree to look realistic, and the producer's like, we want the tree to look fantastical, and apparently that was the biggest argument on set. And Neil Marshall got kicked out of the editing room because the producers like CGI that tree to make it look like a fantastical tree. David Harbour apparently hated Neil Marshall. He walked off set a whole bunch of times. Him and Ian McShane, who plays Hellboy's dad, as you remember from the other movies, who was originally played by. In the no, not Ron Perlman.
No.
Wait,
Singing Witch
was it Ian Hurt?
Doctor.
John Hurt.
John Hurt.
John
right,
Hurt.
John Hurt. And rest in peace. And yeah, so those guys, Ian McShane and David Harbour, both apparently rewrote scenes in front of Neil Marshall because they just didn't like the script. Neil Marshall was not allowed in the editing room. That's why he's done no press for this movie at all. He's not done any.
He's non-existent for the marketing.
Yeah. He shouldn't say it. It should be directed by like what's the go-to like name?
Oh, the fucking what's the one that was like Halo?
It's like Flanges or something like that.
Flanges.
Just what the name that you go to when you didn't direct this
Oh,
movie.
what is it? Yeah.
Yeah, I
It
can't
was-
remember.
I
what
think
it
like
is.
Hellraiser 4 or something.
Yeah,
like that.
Hellraiser 4. Yeah. In theory, that's what
Keep
Hellboy
talking,
should
I'll
be. Yeah, in theory, that's what Hellboy should be credited as. So, it's R-rated. It's R-rated and it's
Alan
50
Smithy. That's
Alan
what it is.
Smithy.
Alan
It should
Smithy.
be an Alan Smithy movie. So yeah, so the film is not Neil Marshall. He wasn't allowed final cut privileges. So obviously, this isn't a Neil Marshall movie.
So
right?
we're gonna get a director's cut.
Oh,
gonna be great.
It should be. Honestly, this is a movie done by a committee. You can tell. So it opens. So yeah, like I said, King Arthur. It's a King Arthur movie, whilst also being a Hellboy movie. The big plot point is that Hellboy is the descendant of King Arthur.
Right. He's the descendant of King Arthur.
Yeah, he's King Arthur's son or something like that.
Why is he?
So
Why is he red
was
and
King
Hellboy?
Arthur?
No.
Why-
Wait, let me explain.
Why has he got like fists?
Yeah.
What?
No, so Hellboy.
What?
So King Arthur gave birth to a daughter, and this daughter,
He gave birth himself. That's impressive.
King Arthur's wife, and King Arthur's daughter, like got raped or something by the devil, and then that's Hellboy,
Doesn't sound very funny, Dylan.
or something like
Yeah.
that. It's something like that. It's like Rosemary's Baby, whole thing. So Hellboy is the only person that can wield the thing. wield the sword. Excalibur, that's what the sword's called. So yeah, this movie is beyond incompetently bad.
Right.
So there's the opening, so it opens, so it goes Lionsgate, and I was like, okay, I'm like, all right, I'll give it a fair shake, you know, and it's like instant cuts into a dead body, and then Ian McShane comes on with the voiceover, and he goes, it's England, the Dark Ages, and it was called that for a fucking reason. That's like literally the dialogue, and I was like, oh my god. I remember
We didn't have lights. It was very dark all the time.
Robbie Collins review, Robbie Collins of the Telegraph, he said that like it looks like Ian McShane. It sounds like Ian McShane has never seen this before in his life, and it's the first time he's reading it. And I was like, I went into the movie, I was like, yeah, it does sound like that. It sounds like he's never seen it before. Sasha Lane and is another guy as well, who both American do British accents, and their accents are terrible. Mila Jovovich does a English accent that's terrible. The action sequences are just beyond incompetent. The editing is atrocious. The first part, the whole first action scene is Hellboy's in Mexico, and he has to go meet like a fellow agent or something like that, and then the agent's turned into a vampire. This doesn't have anything else to do with the rest of the movie, and then they play it
cool.
so Hellboy kills him. And
Well,
then
it's just, a day in the life where the character does.
Oh, of
So
course.
cool.
But then they play it like for sympathy. They're like, oh my god, it's such a shame I'm like, I don't know who this character is. The movie just started. It's like been on for like 10 minutes. I don't know who this is. Then they go to England. Oh, Hellboy has to fight 3 giants. I've got this. Because I know the song that they play. I'm gonna play it. Well, we might get copyright.
Yeah, I don't think we should play
Okay,
the song.
alright, I won't play the song. But Hellboy fights 3 giants at once, and the director obviously.
How far is this into the film?
About midway.
Okay.
Point. This is the.
So like an hour and a half in? Or?
Yeah. About an hour.
Oh yeah, is it actually 2.5 hours long?
No, it's 121 minutes.
Okay,
121 minutes.
it's 2 hours. Google it.
So it's about an hour into the movie, and it's Hellboy gets ambushed by these 3 giants in the English countryside. The giants all look like shit. The CGI is really, really bad, and the action sequence is they try to do it all in one take. And you can tell that they clearly didn't get enough coverage on the day or something like that. So a lot of the time the CG will come really close to the screen so they can hide cuts.
Right.
David Harbour's clearly not actually there. It's clearly CG. And then they've got like, on top of all that, you're thinking, wow, Dylan, that sounds really bad. On top of that, they've got like a shite new metal song that's like, and Hellboy's like, you bitch, oh, I'm gonna kill you. I was like, oh my god, who is this made for? Like, I don't understand. Only idiots
My
can
flatmate.
really...
It's made for him.
Yeah. Well, he likes that joke in the trailer, doesn't he? Which, by the way, that's in the movie.
Yeah,
that
that's
joke's
such
in
a
the movie.
bad line.
Yeah,
What
the
joke
joke,
is that?
the joke is, we're not going to work out, you and I, is talking to Mila Jovovich, it's because
Right.
you're a Capricorn. No, I'm a Capricorn.
Oh.
You're fucking crazy. That's the line. Yeah, it's really bad. It's really bad. So yeah, it's a massive pile of crap.
I'll ask you a question.
Yeah, go on.
Were you entertained?
No, not in the slides. I had like secondhand embarrassment. I think I told you I watched that that giant fight scene like through my hand like this because I was so like embarrassed, and I kept looking around. I was like, other people must like feel, and like because they know nothing about movies, they're all just, and it's just like, I know it sounds really bad, but no, I don't mean it like that, but like they just can't tell that this movie clearly like didn't have a director, and it clearly it's just like nobody cares.
Oh, but 63% of the audience liked it.
Wait, what's that mean? Was that like the Rotten Tomatoes?
I think it was like 13% on critics and then 63% audience.
Oh, can we check that really
I
quickly?
think
That's what
Metacritic-
Tom was saying. Was
Metacritic is like...
What, has Tom seen it?
I think so. I think he went to Malcolm, yeah.
Did he like it?
I don't know. I've spoken to
Oh,
him.
Hellboy,
Oh,
me
He
and
was very
Malcolm.
excited about it, and I'm like, it's gonna be shit. And he's like, no, it's got 63%. I'm like, it's gonna be shit. Audience are fucking dumb.
I spoke to Malcolm about it actually. I remember Malcolm responded to my tweet where I said, "This is my review of Hellboy," and I put up a picture of a dumpster.
62.
62. Oh my god.
Well, that's audience,
I hate
and then
audiences.
critic is 15%, and
What do
it's
critics know?
yeah.
34 on Metacritic.
I'm
as well.
surprised it's got 62% because like less than 62 people saw it in its opening weekend because it actually made like no money.
2,000
He looks
user
so
reviews.
cool. He's got his horns and he's got a big sword.
Yeah, and Demons of Demons 2.
Oh, he has a couple demons in the movie. Yeah, oh, so one of the character, her thing, she's a psychic. So when she can apparently. So if you tell me if you were to make a character have premonitions, or they like a sort of
Like a vision, like...
no like a dead person can speak through them.
Right.
Like how would you maybe do that? How would you maybe like visualize that on
Like...
screen?
I think like in Doctor Who they did it where like you get like glowing eyes or whatever, and
Okay.
then like an echoey voice and stuff.
Right. This is how they do it.
Right.
Her intestines come out and they become the person.
That's cool.
Whoa!
That's
and-
cool.
That's metal!
And
Oh,
That's
Ian-
amazing.
Let's go right, fuck the podcast.
Ian McShane comes over at the end and goes, and his face is like floating. The CGI is clearly not
So
finished.
Ian McShane's face gets made out of intestines.
That sounds
Yeah, basically.
cruel.
That
yeah.
sounds fun.
It's not fun. It's so bad.
I agree with the 62%. I want to see this
I'd
film
be
now.
I'd be clapping so hard.
Wait, I want to tell you. So this is like, so the do you guys really care about the end of the movie?
Well, our audience do.
Yeah,
Oh
clearly
my God.
62% would.
Okay, I won't spoil how, but Hellboy decapitates someone,
Right.
and he throws.
Mil-
No, it doesn't matter who they decapitate, and he throws their head into like a well of like lava. What do you think he says? What do you think his little catchphrase
Oh,
is?
it's gonna be like.
Burn, baby, burn.
It's worse than that. It's the worst thing I've ever heard in a cinema. He goes, "Quit while you're ahead."
Oh no!
Yeah, I think
He was Arnold Schwarzenegger with like
Is that
grimacing.
David
Oh.
Harbour line or?
it's a David Harbour line. Oh, he wrote that. Yeah.
Guys, I've got it.
Ahead, get it, guys.
There's
I've actually never heard this joke in my life.
the opening, the King Arthur stuff is all day for night as well. So I should
Oh.
have said, yeah. So they filter it to be black and white, for some reason, but not in
Because
any
it's
way.
no times. They
The
didn't have
Blood
colour
Queen,
then.
exactly. The Blood Queen, the red stands out because she's the Blood Queen, obviously. So
Oh,
red.
so it's like the little girl in Schindler's List.
Yeah, it's like that. It's just as comparable to Schindler's List. Yeah, so that's Hellboy for you. Do you guys want to know anything else about it? It's terrible. It's one of the worst films I've seen this year.
It's
It
like
might be the worst film I've seen.
Can
this
you
year.
watch it for like a so bad it's good? Like,
Yeah,
could
certain
you get
parts,
drunk
yeah.
and have a bunch of fun?
Yeah, it's not like too long. Well, 2 hours is still pretty long.
I'll read you some counter arguments
Oh, go on the
that I
IMDb.
found on Twitter.
Oh no, yeah, okay, right, here we go.
Okay, so
Go
I
ahead.
won't say who this is, but
Why not?
looks like Hellboy. Is this yours? The Predator, your favorite film from last year?
Oh yes, I think I put that at
Two
number one of my
incredibly
worst.
fun, super gory, big budget action horror films that underperform bomb critically. I do believe both will eventually be embraced by hardcore horror fans.
Yeah, they're both terrible movies.
Well, Fergus, as a horror fan yourself,
As a
you know,
hardcore
forget
horror,
us, right?
Yeah.
Who cares about us?
Forget
Just go
Get
see
Out.
Hellboy.
I've got to go see Hellboy.
Also, Hellboy's not horror.
I mean, it
So-
clearly is.
It's an action
They
film.
had to
But
test
it's
and
got
s-
hell in
Oh,
the
sorry.
name.
That's
Hell's really
true.
scary.
That's true. And also the color palette's red and orange, and that's a scary color palette.
Yeah,
So there
the
you go.
devil's pretty scary.
Did you see in 4DX as
No, I
the
It's on 2D.
as the intended?
I didn't.
You didn't get sprayed with water that's pretending to be blood.
No. It's crap. It's real crap. Look at that. I mean, look at that. Look at the GIF. Look how bad it looks.
Well, he's got cool hordes that are on fire. That's so
Oh,
cool.
This
God.
guy refers to it as a glorious mess. Says it's kind of a mess, but it's a glorious
Isn't
mess.
it kind of a mess? It is a mess.
A true horror comic come to life.
Oh my god.
My
This is
favorite,
like I
my
feel-
favorite horror has King Arthur in it.
Yeah, I feel really. Oh, Merlin's in it. Forgot because it's King Arthur. Oh, and there's a big villain that's like a big warthog, and he has a Cockney accent. That's a villain in the movie. Oh, you know, okay. Actually, I can explain it. What's the thing that you know, fairies in folklore? They
Yeah.
they have it.
Oh, like
a
in-
changeling. It's
Like
one
in
of those.
Bright when Will Smith's like,
Oh, yeah.
fairy lives don't matter today.
Yeah, like Bright. Yeah. When's Bright 2 coming out?
When is Bright do come out?
Okay, right. I think I'm done talking about Hellboy. Do you guys want anything? Also, obviously ends on a shit rock song too. Obviously, it's got really bad.
So when can we expect the? Is Abe Sapien in it?
That
the water guy?
I don't want to spoil that because that's the big reveal.
Oh,
The big
okay.
reveal.
Oh, you just
So
spoiled it.
yeah, I'm
No,
guessing it is in it.
No, it's not. He's in it at the
They
end.
saved it for sequel territory.
No, like it's like the. Oh yeah, so if it was gonna put who wins like the Game is On award this year so far, it's Hellboy.
Oh really?
It has a post credit scene and it ends with, "Who do you think this is?" And the camera zooms in and it says Abe Sapien. So that's the end of the movie.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, it's garbage, absolute garbage, and it deserves the money that it's made. And I feel bad for Neil Marshall. I feel really bad for him
Neil Marshall.
because he's a good director. Definitely a good director. Like, and in theory, like he's the right guy for the job.
Yeah.
Like-
Well, I was like, because when I heard about this, I was like, oh shit, yeah. And then David Harbour as well. I was like, oh yeah, that makes
No,
sense.
he's
you know.
rubbish as well. He's not very good as hell.
Uh,
Right. Okay. Do you want me to talk about
Any other bad film experiences you've had recently?
Oh, I want to talk about my cinema experience.
Your cinema experiences. Your wonderful experience with our local Cineworld.
Yeah, our local cinema.
Dylan is cursed before we start. Dylan
Yeah.
is cursed with
Yeah, I'm
bad
cursed.
cinema.
Yeah.
I'm very cursed.
Before, because Dylan has the Cineworld Unlimited card now, which
I
basically
do.
you pay like, you know, whatever it is a month
Mm.
to see unlimited films or whatever. I
Yeah.
used to have it before.
Yeah.
I saw probably about like, maybe like at least like 2 movies a week or something.
Yeah.
Absolutely fine, apart from when the old woman was wanking behind me.
What film was that in again?
That was Allied with Brad Pitt and
Was
Barry
it?
Cotillard, where they make out in like a desert taxi or something. Apart from that,
That's a pretty bad one though.
that's pretty bad.
Yeah.
Apart from that, I had a-okay cinema experiences. Not a bother. Ever since we all started seeing films together, we would get someone fucking bad happens every single time.
Yeah. You want to talk
Everything.
about the worst one, which is Mission Impossible Fallout?
Oh man, just maybe go more in depth another time, but like basically,
You should do a whole episode just dedicated
Probably
to bad
could.
cinema experiences.
Probably could.
I should save some of my stories for that then.
but so we sat down ready to see Mission Impossible Fallout because everyone's like, it's gonna be so fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Starts and I'm like, okay, let's set up what's important about the movie. These like nuclear like orbs or whatever.
Yeah.
Like they're basically like this is what you gotta care about for the rest of the movie. As that's happening, a big family comes up, torches lit on their phones, baby crying in their arms, sit directly in behind us.
Yeah, right.
The torch is like spilling like light onto our laps and everything. I'm just like
They keep swapping seats. They can't decide who's sitting where.
Yeah.
They're talking for
they're
the entire
talking
time.
so loudly.
Who was sitting next to me? I was sitting next to you. I turned to you and was like, we should go out. We would get
I was
refunded.
so tempted just to
Yeah.
walk out and get a refund.
Did I have an unlimited card by then? Yeah.
Yeah, you
I think
did.
I
Because I was like just off it or something, and I had to like pay like the £9 or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, fucking hell. And so basically, I was just like seething for this whole first 10 minutes, and then when they quiet down, and then it's like your mission. Should you choose to accept it? I'm like, I don't know what's going on.
What mission?
I have no idea what's happening.
Yeah, as people talked in, we saw Sky's One-Legged Die Hard when we saw
Oh
One-Legged
yes,
Die
guys,
Hard.
good.
Oh, hell yeah.
Forgot we saw
People,
Skyscraper.
people talked in that as well. Oh my god, tell the story about the teeth.
Oh, when we went to see the new Halloween, and there was a guy sitting next to me who just kept making weird noises the entire time. Like, Michael Myers would kill somebody, we just go, whoa.
And
then
very spooky.
Really cool. Like, it's a really cool scene when he comes into the bathroom and he starts dropping teeth on the floor in front of the girl. And the guy next to me just goes, that's teeth. And I was like, he just took me out the entire thing. Like, cheers. Great.
Oh, Lord, did you know that was teeth though before he said it?
Oh, I did. I was like, what's he dropping? Who is that? It's not Michael Myers.
I was like,
Just make weird. Oh,
it's like those people that like just turn to whoever they're with and just say the title of the movie when it comes up. Like you've seen Hellboy, and it's true, Hellboy.
Oh, it's like when like the Avengers trailer came on, and it's like some people move on, and I'm like, but no us.
Yeah. Okay, I want to talk about the ones I've had. This
Talk
month.
about your other.
I've been to the cinema a lot this month. So I saw Pet Sematary. Oh, Pet Sematary, that's my most viral tweet. It's because of what happened because of when I saw Pet Sematary.
Oh right.
So some guy.
Your most viral one didn't get like 8 likes.
It got 11 likes. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Whoa!
Oh.
2 retweets. All right, don't fuck with me. All right. This guy saying he's like way. This is like an empty cinema because no one saw Pet Sematary either. And it's like he's way in front of me, but he's got his phone out the whole way through, and I can see it enough, and I can see that he's sitting on Tinder. And he's just sitting, swiping away, and he gets no matches for the whole movie, that was the saddest part. But that as well, and he's just like, I just kept thinking to myself, like, why pay money to like sit in a dark room and do that? So that was that. Then I saw Shazam, and a guy that took a group of children with him. But I went to the toilet before the movie came on, and all the kids came into the bathroom. And I was like sitting in the stall, and there were 2 kids on either side of the stalls, and they're I'm like, oh my god. I'm like, hopefully maybe they're going to go see Dumbo. Like, maybe they're not seeing Shazam. Then they all walk into Shazam. I'm like, oh my. But they've got like a guy with them, like an older gentleman. And I'm like, oh, he'll control them, hopefully. And he just goes, they start the movie, and he just whips his phone out, and the whole way through the film, he's just sitting doing his emails, and he's just responding to his emails. And I just kept thinking to myself, I was so tempted. I actually moved. I moved the seat away. Oh, and the guy next to me danced during the Pokemon trailer. He started. I sent Fergus this.
That was me.
Yeah, it was sorry. The guy next to me during the Pokemon trailer started like dancing, and then like there's a part in Shazam where a character goes "Hi Duke," and he claps, and all these kind of things. I actually moved away from him because he was annoying me. I moved away from him, and I moved.
How far away did you move?
I moved like 3 seats away. And then the guy sitting on his phone, I managed to get my jacket up in a way that it was covering the light, so I watched the whole film like sitting like this. Then I saw what did I just see? I saw Greta today,
Right.
which is it's okay.
Yeah, I think I'm not.
In the movie itself or in the
Just
cinema?
or both.
The film's alright actually. It's not bad. It's got some bad editing at some parts, and the dialogue's pretty woeful. But
What's that about?
It's about. I don't want to say too much because it's actually quite like.
Oh, really?
I went in knowing nothing, and I was like, oh.
Yeah, I didn't know about this film until you came in like an hour ago and was
Yeah,
like, hey, I saw this movie.
It's about like a stalker basically.
Okay.
And the stalker is Greta, hence the title.
Yeah.
So during the movie, it's actually like for the most part it was quiet, and then like the final act happens, and the final act's a bit kind of like out there, goes a bit crazy. Maybe like I would compare it to something like a kind of Hereditary, not
Oh,
supernatural.
hell yeah, I love that stuff.
Not supernatural, but it goes all out. It goes in ways I didn't
I
expect.
always appreciate when films do that.
Like Annihilation, maybe.
Hell yeah.
And then the guy like way over to the left of me, I always sit at the back, and this guy way in the corner, and he starts talking to himself. And this is he hadn't made any noises before, but now all of a sudden he starts talking. And there's a moment, there's like a big violent moment, and the guy just goes, "Oh fuck," as loud as possible.
Sure, he wasn't wanking as well.
Oh god! And
That's why you sit in the back.
yeah, and he kept like just making noises about, and he kept just going, "Oh my god!" There's like a big violent moment, and there's a moment where a character does a violent thing with a finger.
Lots of teeth.
Yeah,
Violent thing with a finger.
he basically, and he just goes, "Oh my god!" He's like watching. I'm just like, firstly, you're on your own. Who are you talking to? I mean, I'm on my own, but I don't talk to myself.
He's enhancing the cinema
Yeah,
experience for
he's-
himself. He's getting into it.
My
He's
god.
the people you want, the dedicated fans.
Oh my god, it was awful. But the film's alright, yeah. And that's all the movies I've seen this month.
Speaking of the dedicated fans, right? Did you see this thing on Twitter where it was like a video of a guy reacting to the Star Wars Episode 9 trailer,
yeah.
and everyone started making fun of him, being like,
and then people
"Ah!"
started defending him.
Yeah, and then like, yeah.
That's a whole thing to talk about, actually. Well, that actually leads us very well, nicely into the Star Wars Episode 9 trailer.
Yeah.
And
Or
the title. Is
well,
it?
it's-
Sorry.
teaser, yeah. No, an actual trailer.
Teaser.
Whatever, it's a trailer.
This is where we live in now. We have a
Yeah.
teaser, then a teaser trailer, then a trailer, then the film
Yeah.
trailer.
So it had
I
Star
know
Wars
how
Celebration.
marketing works.
So a few Star Wars Celebration stuff.
Yeah.
Before it, Bob Iger was like, "Here, look at Disney Plus."
Oh yeah. Do we really want to talk about Disney Plus?
Don't know. Will you guys get it? Disney Plus. It's gonna
No.
have all the classic Disney movies, Marvel movies,
Oh,
Pixar.
Simpsons. The Simpsons.
Was it
are-
really?
Yeah,
Of
it's
all
gonna
the
have every
Simpsons?
Simpson episode. Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Well, they just bought
Oh,
Fox.
now I'm tempted.
Yeah,
Um,
that does kind of tempt me.
yeah. Well,
They could have, if they had, because now they own Always Sunny. They could take the new Always Sunny.
Oh shit.
and they could take off Netflix. Well, it's already off Netflix in the States. What you know? What the
Oh, if they take Always Sunny off Netflix,
Yeah.
I don't know. What am I going to use that
you know
for?
what they're calling you know what they're calling the Scarlet Witch TV show with Vision?
Scarlet Witch and the Vision.
No, don't know the official title.
Vision.
Fiction.
Scarlet Vision.
It's called WandaVision.
What?
Really?
Yeah, it's called
Oh shit.
Wanda-
That
WandaVision.
sounds like some 60s like
Yeah,
cinema
it's-
school.
Oh, because her name's Wanda. Ah.
Yeah, her name's Wanda.
Yeah, remember how
Maximoff.
she was Russian?
Yeah, yeah like
Oh,
four
yeah, she
movies.
lost her accent.
Yeah.
Well, Elizabeth Olsen was like, I ain't doing that for another fucking 4 movies. Yeah, it's called.
I'm not getting
WandaVision.
paid enough. I need an extra 15 million.
Yeah, it's called WandaVision. Yeah. That's a
WandaVision.
bad title.
Did they do maths? Or they...
Yeah. Long division.
It's like an educational thing.
Well, I assume it's meant to be like one division. One. I don't know.
No, long. No, Wanda Vision.
Yeah, I know, but it sounds like one division.
No. It's marketed as
Like the
Wanda
number
One
forward slash
Direction?
Vision. Like it's marketed as like Wanda / Vision. Like almost like.
That's like
one
a
word.
project name that
Yeah,
you just
it's terrible.
Yeah,
didn't think of
yeah.
anything.
Yeah, it's real bad.
They also confirmed the Bucky and Winter Soldier.
Yeah, I don't know what that's called. Bucky and Winter Soldier,
But-
probably.
Bucky
Oh, wait.
/Winter Soldier.
Bucky is a Winter Soldier. Bucky and Falcon. Winter Soldier and Falcon.
Yeah, I think it actually is called Bucky and Falcon.
Dear fucking lord.
I actually think it is. But yeah, it's a
I can't wait for the Loki one where it's just Loki and Loki.
just called Loki. They'll just call that one Loki.
Probably.
For sure. Yeah, and they showed some stuff off at Star Wars Celebration about the Mandalorian, which is also going to
Yeah,
be there. That'll
saw
be
some
there day one.
screenshots.
And for you guys, Captain Marvel will be there day one on Disney Plus. So you guys can all you Captain Marvel that you didn't see in cinemas, you sexist bastards. And that's the reason why it's only made $1 billion. Okay. Well, we need to talk. I want to talk about Star Wars Celebration very briefly.
What about the Mandalorian? What do you guys think about Mandalorian?
Oh, I haven't. Well, they didn't actually release a trailer.
I think they show like a scissor reel to people who went to the panel.
Yeah, it's been filmed on like someone's like shite iPhone. But
really?
I haven't watched it. Yeah, but apparently it's like IG-88's in it and stuff like that. It's all like it's kind of like it's like bounty hunter stuff.
It's kind of the one thing that I want to be good, but then I also wanted Rogue One to be really good, and that was just kind of like just
I don't
meh
hate
fan
Rogue One.
service.
I don't hate Rogue One. Rogue One's okay.
Oh, I
hated Solo. We didn't like Solo. Solo was pretty mediocre.
I enjoyed Solo more than Rogue One.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, I enjoyed Rogue One.
Rogue One felt like it was just Star Wars wankathon.
I
There's R2D2.
mean,
There's the guy who said, "You watch where you're going."
No, it's
and then-
watch it back.
I mean,
guys.
Solo's not much better though. It was
Yeah,
like,
Solo's
I'm going to
not-
call you Solo.
That's true.
Yeah. Did you forget about Solo? That's a year ago.
Yeah,
Wait,
but then Rogue
wait,
One.
when did Solo come out? May? Oh, how are we going to celebrate the year
Solo
one
didn't have
anniversary of Solo?
plastic porcelain Carrie Fisher at the end, being
that's
like,
true, actually. What are we going to do to celebrate the 1 year anniversary of Solo: A Star Wars Story? We
You
got to.
guys can go see another film without me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You guys go see Pacific Rim without me.
You're in a different. Where were you?
I'll go see the Meg.
I don't know. I think I was just busy.
I'll watch the Meg.
Like, let's
again.
go see it tomorrow.
Okay, right. So the Star Wars panel. So they had a panel. It was
Right. So
hosted by-
Pacific Rim 2.
Oh my god, we've already done a podcast with Pacific Rim 2. So the Star Wars panel was hosted by Stephen. Do you guys watch it?
No,
Okay, I watched
Does it work?
I
so
just didn't.
it's hosted by Stephen Colbert.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hosted by Stephen Colbert. Borderline unwatchable.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it's all just like, whoa, whoa, my god, it's Star Wars. It's just the whole audience doing that, like, and everyone's sticking their lightsabers up in it. It's just insane.
Oh, cool.
Dude,
Yeah.
I love Star Wars.
But then JJ came on and like they did this thing where like he'll ask. So obviously they'll pre-plan the questions, right?
Yeah.
But like Stephen Colbert will ask a question like, "When is this set?" And he's like, "JJ's like, I can't tell you." It's like, why don't you just release? Why don't you just like ask questions that we
You
can't?
should have
have
just said a
access to?
long time ago.
Oh,
and he
that's
answered
how it
properly.
starts.
You were in the audience.
Whoa! Episode 9. That's the sequel to Episode 8.
That's Ray.
Is she a Skywalker?
Right, we need to talk about the title.
Rise of Skywalker. Right. So it's like a
not a
million.
good title.
Well,
Rise
you
Skywalker.
don't know. You
No,
don't know
it's
why.
not.
Who's rising?
No, it's not a good title.
You don't know.
Dylan? What do you think it means? Rise of Skywalkers.
I was just thinking.
Rise
Was
of
it
the
plural?
Skywalkers.
Skywalker.
No, it's just Skywalker.
Just like I've become everything I hate. Like,
You're the one who watched the fucking panel.
No, I know, but like these people that.
You're
say,
at
like,
your wee laptop going,
I
yeah!
actually was sitting at my
There's
laptop.
Hayden
just-
Christensen!
Okay, I didn't
Had
do
their
that.
lightsaber on.
Yeah.
In your wee Jedi. You had your duvet over your head, be like, I'm a vampire. I'm a Jedi.
No, what was that again? I'm a Catholic nun that spent some time in
Oh
Egypt.
Christ.
That's a story for a different
that
time.
made me- that
What's
made
the
me
second
laugh.
one?
Oh, shit, we do.
Why are we not watching it now? Okay. Wait, what was it? Yeah, no, it's just like all these people that are like, "Does that mean?" I just never sent you, but it was like, I analyze Rey's skull,
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
and
yeah.
from this angle, I can deter that she is definitely not a Skywalker. Either
Oh.
she's a Skywalker or she's a bitch.
Fully ideas.
Okay, so okay.
Is there anything in the teaser where you're like, whoa?
There's not much. I don't know. I feel like there's not much to talk about.
I hope it's a
She
metaphor.
flips over a TIE fighter. Whoa.
That's actually a
How
pretty
she
cool
do
shot.
that?
That's a pretty cool
I
shot.
should do that.
It just looks so dumb where she's just standing there in the desert,
No,
knowing it's
I-
coming, and then she does like a twist,
I think
and
it's
then
fine.
pauses for a second, and then runs.
Oh come on! I think that out of all the bits in the trailer, that's the bit where I was like, "Oh, that like is quite a nice
I just
shot."
thought it was funny. It was just like, she's like, whoa.
Yeah, she's a Jedi.
Wah!
That's what they do. But I mean, like,
She's a Skywalker.
I think it's gonna. Hopefully, it's a metaphor, but in reality, they're
Nah,
just
it's gonna be
bring
that
a
wee
real
kid
mess
at
to
the
life.
end of 8.
Oh,
I
yeah.
didn't even
He's gonna
remember
be the
that.
Skywalker.
No, that'll be in the Ryan Johnson movies that he'll definitely do. No, they're apparently making those. We'll see. When you just put them on Disney Plus, like, isn't that the smarter thing to do? Why would Ryan, after all the backlash Ryan Johnson got, you'd think he would want nothing to do with this franchise ever again. Like, why would he voluntarily?
Because I think he's a narcissist.
No, he's not. Shut
I
up.
don't know, but then as well, like, Disney are also like, yeah, go on, Ryan. I think this will be good. So,
Also, there's
Here's
good.
money.
$30 million.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, I think the trailer. I actually quite enjoyed it. Again, I watched the
I feel
panel.
there's not much to go
I
on.
mean,
like,
yeah, it's definitely like a very much a teaser
Yeah.
where it's like, they're back again.
Yeah. There's
Here's
certainly
Palpatine.
Whoa.
Yeah, okay.
That's the big thing.
Yeah.
How?
I've
How?
seen- Ooh,
How?
How's
How?
that lie?
Okay.
Because I've heard something like, this is a bit of lore, which I think is actually pretty cool. But apparently, like, Siths can't, like, become a Force ghost, and that's why they're so obsessed with, like,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
like, you know, in prolonging their lives and stuff. Which I think is pretty cool.
That's a cool
But-
idea.
And apparently, like, Battlefront 2, the new game, he, like,
Oh.
appears back as, like, a hologram or something.
Yeah.
Like an old recording he made.
Yeah, he orders something just to basically dismantle the
Yeah.
empire, because he's like, well, I'm gone now, guys. Let's pack up our stuff and go. The thing, okay, so the problem is, right, is that after episode 8, I think the one thing that episode 8 clearly makes, like, obvious is, like, we need to, like, sort of move on from the.
It's time for the Jedi to end. That's what Mark Hamill said.
I know. I also saw the movie. I saw a lot of tweets where it's just like, stop saying that the message of episode 8 was to let the past die, because that was said by the villain, and the villain dies by the villain literally gets beaten by a ghost from his past. I'm like, well, you say that, but also Luke dies, so it's like there is a clear message of we need to kind of there's a new generation, we need to kind of move on, and then this movie's like, oh
Yeah, like
here's
Lando's
Lando, here's Darth Sidious.
No one's ever really gone.
No one's ever really dead. It just feels to me like
You know, I think they're gonna like hammer home that no one's ever really gone, and then like everyone at the end is gonna come back as Force Ghost. Like Ewan
Oh,
McGregor will
it's gonna
come
be-
back,
it's gonna be
Hayden
like the Age of-
Christensen will come back.
And they'll all
Like
fight.
they're gonna have no, they're like
It's be like Last Jedi,
like,
like stand
yeah.
there.
like Rey's gonna like be like, I need my friends to help me win this battle, and then it'd be like Obi-Wan appears behind her and Hayden Christensen,
Oh, like the end of Harry
like
Potter.
bum, bum, bum. Yeah, and like everyone disappears, and it'll be like, look guys, Star Wars. Because they're like we're honoring the prequels as well as the originals.
I hope they all fight. I hope they all fight, and they go shooting lightning, and it's just gonna be it's gonna be so.
I hope there's a bit where like Force Ghost Obi-Wan and Force Ghost Hayden Christensen, they both look at each other and they're like, raise eyebrow like, one last time, Anakin, and they're like, I have the high ground, and then like they do a fight.
So bad. I hope that happens. I really hope that.
But
happens.
I think it's gonna be some weird bullshit like that where like everyone comes back as a Force Ghost. Or
Okay,
something.
I think so remember the exciting events of Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith.
Yes.
The movie that we all love. You know the part where Palpatine explains that he knows some stuff from Darth Plagueis.
Yeah.
And he goes, he taught everything to his apprentice, and he goes, irony is, he looks off to the camera that, and the whole thing is like Palpatine
And
knows.
there's a sperm.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
there's a big metaphor clearly on the screen. And the whole that's pretty good actually. And the whole point is that Darth Plagueis could keep himself from death. So I think they're kind of trying to
Some
evoke
things you can't learn from the Jedi.
the Jedi. I think
Do you think when Ian McDermott got approached, like the thing of bringing Palpatine back, and he was like, "Do it."
Wait, and they went, Ian, we need you to come out. I am the Senate. I just, as soon as I watched it, I saw another friend of ours the next day, and I was just saying, Lewis Booth is just going to be insufferable for the next year because it's just going to be all Palpatine memes again. I thought we were past that, but then JJ had to go bring him back.
Did we just mention our friend's name before our own names?
Yeah, I was just going to say we didn't introduce ourselves.
I'm Fergus.
I'm Dylan. I was the one that did Hellboy.
No, I'm Lawrence.
Oh no.
Oh no. Okay. Yeah. It's going to be a film, isn't it? It's going to be released
It's gonna be a film,
it's
you
gonna
know.
be
Well,
released in
okay, the
theaters.
problem with the end of 8 finished, I walked out and I'm like, alright, well, 9, all that it has to happen is one fight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Ray and Kylo.
Which is, I think, is why they've like had this teaser and they're like, Palpatine. Oh, so
Yeah, 'cause
there's
you-
questions again.
Because you need a bigger villain
Because there's no questions.
after the end of.
There's literally no question. They had a question. Who's Snoke? Oh, it doesn't matter. He's dead now.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah,
is he?
okay.
Ray's parents doesn't matter. Although JJ's like, but maybe they do.
Well, guess what though? I mean, but ultimately that was a movie about family,
It was.
and that's
Oh,
what,
like
And that's
Fast and
what really,
Furious.
that's what really
like
matters.
Fast and Furious, like Hobbs and Shaw.
I'm so
It's
excited.
got a new
for Hobbs and
trailer
Shaw.
as well. It's got a new trailer.
Um,
Idris Elba is a super soldier, isn't he?
Oh shit, yeah, he is.
He's just like
so
invincible
excited.
or something. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that's Rise of Skywalker.
Because one of the big theories for Skywalker is that Skywalker's going to be like this new title, where it's like not Jedi, it's not Sith, it's like
Yeah.
this new title.
It's like a
whatever.
metaphor. It's a metaphor. You've
Yeah.
listened to the Weekly Planet podcast too, haven't you?
No, I watched the video.
Oh, you haven't?
I think I was.
That's in the
And then they mentioned it on the pod. Literally, everyone's thought of it. But yeah, I don't know. Because that's the one thing I was like, when episode 8, where Kylo Ren's like, let's just, let's not be good or evil, let's just, do whatever.
That's what.
And he's
Kylo
like,
says,
I'm like,
isn't he?
oh shit, yeah, this is this is cool. And then she's like, no.
No, I think.
And I'm
That's
like, oh.
I like episode 8 a lot more than you guys do.
It's because,
There's some cool stuff in it.
yeah,
The fight in that big red room thing's cool.
The throne room.
the bit where the fucking ship goes really fast and it breaks up the other ships.
But if they could always do that, why weren't they always doing that? They could always do that.
Lawrence, you got a YouTube channel where you talk about Star Wars. No, I saw when I saw episode 8 in theaters and I came out of it, I was like, I thought it was pretty rub. I was like, and then I watched it again on Blu-ray and I was like, no, actually, there's some stuff in it I quite like.
I haven't watched it since.
It's just really badly written. A
No,
lot
it's
of it.
not that bad.
No, a lot of it, like a lot of it's just it's so dumb.
Right,
It
if you
makes
cut the
no
whole
sense.
Casino Planet stuff, the film would be 100 times better.
Well,
Hundred
yeah,
times.
but then there's other stuff like why doesn't
you
Laura Dern like
Admiral
tell
Holdo.
anyone
Admiral
Laura Plan is?
Holdo. Her
I don't
name's
remember her fucking
Admiral
name is.
Holdo.
Purple-haired woman.
Can we just not be like another group of white dudes that talk
Yeah,
about
I don't want to go on a whole
Fair enough,
Star Wars
fair enough.
episode 8 tangent.
Yeah, because and also you're pointing fingers at women already, Lawrence. And I don't like this. Where this is going.
That's got nothing to do with anything.
Yeah, no, it is. It's all part of a sexist ploy to dismantle the Last Jedi.
Don't turn this on me. Don't turn this on me.
No,
It's
I
fine,
think
Fergus.
I like that. yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's episode whatever. What's it called? Episode 9.
Episode 9.
Rise of Skywalker. Do you
I
not
don't
notice
know.
they did the thing where they posted the trailer and it just said Star Wars Episode 9 teaser?
Yeah, the no episode
the
name.
same way they did it Avengers teaser trailer for Endgame. And
Oh,
they didn't
right.
put Endgame in the title. Yeah. In the thing, and then they did it for the next trailer. I don't know. It's just a cool marketing thing that Disney are clearly.
Wait, what are you on
experimenting with.
about? They had the
Like-
title in the trailer?
No,
No,
when
they don't like spoil it with the title of the video.
Yeah.
Uh,
So remember the Avengers Endgame first trailer was just called Avengers Official Trailer,
oh.
and I thought, oh, they're just calling it Avengers, and I remember watching it. I was like, oh, it's called Endgame. Oh, okay.
Well,
It's
whoever
the same
cares?
thing.
After like 2 seconds of it being out, be like,
Yeah,
it's
but-
Avengers Endgame.
But there's such a cool moment. You're like, whoa, Endgame. You see the title card, you're like,
Yeah.
whoa,
They did the same thing
Endgame.
with Rise of
And
Skywalker.
it's like the
That's like a
thing
big Doctor
Stephen
Strange.
Strange said.
Oh, the audience at Star Wars Celebration when it comes up, the Rise of Skywalker, they're all like,
I know who that is!
whoa! You know,
I guess they would do that for any title.
That's true. It could be
I
like,
mean,
yeah.
Fuck you, Star Wars fans.
Palpatine returns
Yeah.
again.
Whoa!
Then Ian McDermott came out, and it's just,
Did
and Ian McDermott play it again, and then they played the trailer again.
he actually do it?
Yeah, he came out and he went.
I
"Play
think
it
my
again."
theory is that they're still gonna. I think J.J. Abrams is still like, Kylo Ren's gonna be a good guy, and Kylo Ren's gonna be, he's the rise of Skywalker, and he's gonna
Yeah.
embrace his Skywalker roots.
Like a redemption story
Yeah.
for for what's his name, Ben Solo.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And at the end, he's like, my name's Ben. What's yours?
I hope it doesn't do that. I think it'd actually be quite cool if like I remember like Kylo Ren's had enough chances. All right, this guy's he's a bad
Yeah.
dude. He's a bad dude.
Yeah, I don't
right?
think you can do that because every film has been
I
like,
don't,
well, he might be good.
It's
Yeah,
not
and, then
what-
he, and then in the end he goes, I'm not good.
it's not what I
Yeah.
want to happen, but I think they're going to be like, towards the end, like, this is actually Kylo Ren's story. You know, this is a story of, you know.
Yeah, I can actually kind of see that happening.
Yeah.
I can visualize it, but I hope they don't. I hope it's just like Skywalker. It just means like, it must just mean like Rey's obviously just carrying on all the kind of like,
Yeah.
Star and
Because
she's
she,
the
like,
Jedi.
took the text
I was
at the
gonna
end of
say
it.
she carries on all the Star Wars stuff. I mean, technically she does. I hope they just do it like that. I really don't want it to be. They better not reveal her to be a Skywalker. If they're gonna learn anything from what Ryan Johnson did, just like
Stop having everyone related. And
yeah, just at least take what he did and be like, yeah, don't. You know what I mean? Just like take that from Ryan Johnson. Anyway, do you want to talk about Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order?
Oh, yeah, I was going to mention that as well. Yeah, so
Yeah.
Jedi Fallen Order, new game by Respawn,
Mhm.
guys who did Titanfall 2.
And
Fantastic game. And
Apex Legend, which our friend Lewis is an expert.
Apex Legend. Yeah, he's level 50. He's got all the achievements.
Oh my god, he is. He's XX Elite.
Yeah.
XX 69.
yeah, yeah. So, and it looks pretty good. And it's like rumored to have like kind of Sekiro-like combat as well, like kind
Oh.
of Dark Souls inspired combat.
Yeah. Hopefully it's not.
So with
it's
That
not.
lightsaber will be pretty cool.
So I'm assuming it's not Force Unleashed combat, which is button mash.
No,
Okay.
but then in the trailer, there's a lot of people like wall running and everything. So
That's
I assume
cool.
that they're gonna kind of incorporate, you know, their bread and butter of Titanfall 2 and stuff.
And there's Sith Inquisitors. Those are the villains. Do you guys know what that is?
Guessing they're Sith and they work as Inquisitors.
Do you guys not
Inquisit-
know? You guys not watch Star Wars
Are
Rebels?
those the red guys?
Did I watch? No.
Okay, Star Wars Rebels. They basically introduced these. They're like Darth Vader's like henchmen that are designed to basically hunt down the last after Order 66. They
Oh,
hunt
that's
down
pretty
the
cool.
remaining Jedi. And what's really cool about them is they always wear like masks. This is the one you must have seen the memes with one of them in Star Wars Rebels has like a helicopter lightsaber that he can use to fly.
What?
You know, none of you know.
No.
This?
No.
So it's a lightsaber. No, he doesn't have a mask on actually. That guy doesn't have a mask. He has a lightsaber that's kind of. Maybe this is in the second season. This is not him.
Okay.
So basically, there's like one. In the first season, there's one Inquisitor, and then in the second season, there's a bunch. I might be completely wrong. I haven't watched Star Wars in a
Okay.
long time. But one of the lightsabers is like, so it's like Darth Maul's, but it has like a circular thing, and it spins, and the guy uses it as a helicopter, and he can fly.
And it's a lightsaber. It's
Yeah,
light.
it's really
It's like a
dumb.
laser.
Yeah, it doesn't have any mass. That's the whole idea. So yeah, they're bringing those guys from Star Wars Rebels, but the cool thing about them is they're basically like Sith, but they're not like incredibly powerful. They're basically like lackeys for Vader, just to hunt stuff down, so he doesn't have to
Super
do it.
soldiers.
Kind of, but they do have force abilities.
Yeah.
So Rebels is obviously does the whole thing where it's like, watch Darth Maul gets to fight them and all that kind of stuff. Because Darth Maul comes back with robot legs.
Oh,
the
yeah.
same way I hope Palpatine comes back with big spider legs.
What if he comes back and it's just his head and then spider legs?
Oh yes. I am dead. And he shoots lightning out his eyes.
Do it.
He goes. "Bleh."
The lightning comes out his mouth.
When you do it like that. Bleh.
And then there'll be like
Jedi
there'll be like great behind the scenes photos of like Ian McDermott with just like a little green cloth around his head, and he's just like getting wheeled around on like a wee trolley. He's like, what?
Off to the camera, he's just like, JJ, is this gonna look any good? He's like, trust me, we'll make it look great in post. It's gonna look amazing.
He starts crying like Ian McKellen did in The Hobbit, where he's like, I didn't become an actor.
Oh, wait, can I tell a Transformers story just for this?
Transformers story.
There's a behind the scenes bit in the first one. You guys seen the first one, the Michael Bay one? You know where Sam's on the building and he's holding on, he's talking to Megatron, and he's like, "You're never getting this all spark."
No, I don't remember.
Okay, there's a part where he's talking to Megatron. There's a behind the scenes clip where he has to say the line, "You'll never get this all spark," and he turns to Michael Bay and goes, he just shouts, he goes, "That's a shit line, Mike." I'm not saying that's a shit line.
And that must be a wild
Michael Bay's just got like his little microphone, say it. That's just great. I guess Shia LaBeouf just knew those movies were garbage. Like he just, oh, it's amazing. Anyway, and there's a great. Oh, now I want to tell another Transformers story. It's great. You know. Wait.
Got Dylan's Transformers corner.
Yeah, okay, Transformers 5. They marketed it with like the girl power stuff.
Oh yeah.
And there's a Ralph the Movie Maker part where he's like a film critic on YouTube, and he's reviewing Transformers 5, and he's like, "So what, is Michael Bay a feminist now?" And it just shows like behind the scenes clip of Transformers 2, and he's talking to Megan Fox like, "If you don't get moving, I'm gonna slap your ass with this paddle."
Fucking hell. I remember when I was like, well, Transformers 1 came out like 2007, I think.
2007, yeah.
So I must have been like, I was 11, yeah.
I was 9.
I remember watching the DVD.
Just get our ages away.
I remember listening to the DVD commentary, and he talked about this bit where like Megan Fox has to like bash one of the wee Transformers that's attacking Sam or whatever.
Oh, Frenzy.
Yeah, whatever the fuck. and Michael Bay was just like, yeah, to get her in this mood, I just annoyed her the whole day. I just kept yelling at her the whole day. I just made her do it over and over, and that's what made her performance so great.
Kubrick.
There's a part at the start of that commentary, he gets racist really quickly.
Oh, no.
So he's talking about how like they hacked his computer during the making of that movie, and they made fun of the designs. And when Michael Bay first got shown what Optimus Prime was going to look like, he was like, "That's shit. We need to change it." And he starts doing this impression of a Japanese guy that actually,
because he talks about going to Transformers school or whatever.
Yeah. The Japanese guy eventually like made the design that got into the movie, like the good design, but he's like Michael Bay does a really offensive accent, basically saying what this guy said about that
Transformers did
design.
offensive racial.
Yeah, okay, Skids and Mudflap, yeah. I remember watching an interview with the writers of that movie, and they're trying to absolve themselves so much. He's like, "Oh yeah, we wrote Transformers 2, but I want to just say the two like black robots, that was Michael Bay's idea." They're like, "That wasn't our idea, okay? Just want to get that out there." Michael Bay was insistent that we have these two stereotypical robots that can't read and they have gold teeth. That's something that needs to happen.
How many racial stereotypes do you think there are in Dumbo, since it's the same writer?
Oh, Aaron Kruger. Oh, well, he didn't. Well, Aaron Kruger didn't come on until. Okay, the racial stereotyping got a bit better as the movie's gone on.
Really? So number 2 is pretty fucking terrible.
Well, Aaron Kruger didn't write number. So basically, Transformers 2 was done during the writer's strike.
Yeah.
And so it was written by Roberto Orci and Alex Kurtzman, and they were having huge.
How do you remember these names?
I don't know. They had a huge problem, so they hired Aaron Kruger. He just did rewrites, and then he did Transformers 3 and 4. He wrote those ones solely. And then 5 was done by like Art Markham, Matt Holloway, and Ken Nolan, and
Ken Nolan.
Akiva Goldsman. Yeah, Ken Nolan did Black Hawk Down.
Did he? Which Nolan brother is he?
No, he has nothing to do with those guys. But he wrote Black Hawk Down, and the other two guys wrote Iron Man, the first one. But they also wrote Punisher: Warzone. So they've got a whole host of bad movies. And Akiva Goldsman wrote Batman and Robin. So it's like give or takes it. But he also won. Akiva Goldsman won the screenplay for. He think he wrote American Beauty. With Sam Mendes. So is that Sam Mendes that directed American Beauty? Yeah. Yeah, I'm the only person in the world that knows all these names. That's my talent. That's like the one thing I'm good at in my life is that I know.
Useful.
Yeah, and it's not.
It's gonna be like some shitty pub quiz answer like, what acclaimed writer also wrote Punisher: Warzone?
Yeah.
And you'd be like, oh fuck yeah.
Finally.
Finally.
My life is complete. Okay.
Anything else?
There's another piece of news actually you had.
What else did I have? Oh, Game of Thrones started. Nice, you watch it?
It was great.
It was good. It was really good.
Seen anything? I haven't.
I really enjoyed it. I kind of
Just setting stuff up, but it was good.
Yeah.
I haven't seen.
You haven't seen any Game of Thrones?
I've watched a couple of episodes of the first season. I didn't get into it very much.
Yeah. Series
Maybe
1
because they're all like 45 minutes long. I just don't have that.
Series 1 is definitely very
But
slow.
you got time to learn all the characters and names in Transformers.
Yeah.
And,
I learned those when I was like 10, so it's different.
Game of Thrones is pretty hard to get into just because of you can never remember anyone's name the first time around. Like, I read the first book, and that's like 800 pages, and for the whole of that, I was like, I don't know, I don't have a clue what's going on. And then I started reading the second book, I'm like, wow, this is really good. And then, so yeah, I need to give it 2 shots. I think.
You're into the books, aren't you?
Yeah, I read them all.
Yeah.
It took me 2 years.
Think of all the things you could have done in 2 years.
It's because I went on the bus. It was when I was in college, and then I would take 2 40-minute buses every day,
Oh, jeez.
and so yeah, I just read them, and I read all the books between that. But yeah, pretty much took 2 years of my college course to read all those books.
There you go, amazing.
1,000 words.
What have you been reading recently? You read anything?
I'm reading Yoko Ogawa's The Professor. Oh no, yeah, The Professor and the Housekeeper. It's
I
pretty
think
good.
it's called The Housekeeper and the Professor.
Well, it's just like the same thing. I can't see it from here. Basically, it's just a nice book. It's like, I don't know. I thought it was gonna be something else because Yoko Ogawa basically, I read her novel The Diving Pool, and it's essentially like 3 novellas, and they're like these weird, uncomfortable horrors, and like they do this thing where a lot of like really good horror, they basically end before they reveal the scary like twist almost, and so you're kind of left with like this weird, uncomfortable feeling where you know there's like some greater meaning in it, but it's like a puzzle you have to solve, and you know it's in there though, just because of how good the writing is. And then this one's more like a light-hearted romantic comedy, I suppose, where it's basically like she's a housekeeper, main character's a housekeeper, and she's looking after this professor whose memory only lasts 80 minutes, I believe, and his memory.
Was he a professor?
Basically, because he got hit by a car in the 70s, I believe, and he was like a math lecturer before then, and this takes place maybe like 10 years later. And yeah, he was like a big math professor, so he just loves numbers and stuff, and it's just a kind of nice light-hearted thing. But I'm still waiting for like some weird horror thing to like occur. So, but yeah, it's nice.
You also told me you were reading Pet Sematary.
I did. Because the movie was coming out, so I reread the book. And
You never came and see the movie?
No, I didn't even go see the movie because everyone was like, it's not great. I'm like,
yeah, I think I told you that. But did I not tell you? You were like, I'll just wait till it comes out.
Yeah, pretty much. And then so then I bought a bunch of other Stephen King books since they're all cheap in a charity shop nearby.
They are, right? And Doctor Sleep. That's getting a movie.
Yeah, that's why I bought it.
Yeah, and also, I just finished reading Norwegian Wood. I've been listening to the audio.
I bought that recently as well.
Yeah, it's a really, really good book. That's oh god, wait, hang on, who wrote it?
Haruki Murakami.
That's it, Murakami. Yeah. I'm thinking I was going to say Ishiguro that he wrote Never Let Me Go.
Oh, Kazuo Ishiguro, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a really, really good book. I'm not going to delve into it too much.
Did you know
I
bought Trainspotting recently because we might.
Oh my god, he died. That guy got shot.
What?
In West End, Bradley Walsh got shot.
It's not the writer of Trainspotting.
No. He's an actor in Trainspotting.
Oh. I was like, Jesus, everyone else got shot?
Yeah, no, Bradley Walsh, an actor in Trainspotting 2, got shot at the West End.
Jesus, Bradley Walsh.
Yeah, he got like execution style.
Oh my god.
That's crazy. Yeah, this is an Edinburgh-based podcast.
Holy shit. Really?
Yeah, just got shot.
Oh my god.
Yeah, see what I mean? Yeah, this is breaking news here, guys. My mum told me last night, yeah. Have you read Stephen King's On Writing?
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. I listened to the audiobook. Because Stephen
King does it.
Stephen King narrates it, and it's fantastic.
You reading anything, Lawrence?
Nope.
I would recommend if anyone wants to get into writing or has the slightest interest, read On Writing because it's such a fantastic.
Did you talk about the cocaine he did in the 80s?
Yeah, basically the first half is essentially his autobiography, and then he leads into like his advice on how he writes horror. And it's really, really interesting. And he has
quite a sad life, doesn't he?
Yeah, there's like a lot of addictions he went through, but then he's like him talking about overcoming it. And the place he is now and his methods now is like very inspiring, and it's I've got a lot more respect for him after reading that.
I have a lot of respect for Stephen King. He's written some not very good stuff, but but I like him. I like the
like even Stephen King. He calls himself. He's just like he refers to himself as just like popcorn horror. He knows what he is, and he's just like. He's like, I know I write popcorn, but I just want it to be the best popcorn that I can write.
That's so good. Yeah, it's true.
So and he writes reads 3 books a year or something.
Yeah. he does deal with like hefty themes.
Oh yeah.
Like The Shining's about alcoholism.
Pet Sematary.
It's about grief mainly.
Yeah. I don't know if I should spoil. But basically like a character dies, and
that's in the trailer for the movie, by the way. Spoils it in the trailer.
But and yeah, like there's a whole bit where it's just like organizing the funeral and how you have to wake up. Usually, you have gets drunk the night before, and then he has to go to his the funeral with a hangover and greet all these people. It is so bleak and depressing.
Yeah, that's not a movie, by the way. They doesn't do the hangover stuff. They gloss well over it, and it's not even like the movie didn't have the.
It's hard to read. It's man, yeah. So I think that's some good writing there.
That's all. I think that's everything. Do we have anything else you want to talk about, Lawrence? Do you have anything you want to talk about? Any news you want to talk about?
No, I've been in a bubble.
Oh. I want to talk about one last thing. So Joker from Persona 5 got added to Smash Brothers. And Kotaku did this article where they were like, one of the songs included in the game, they say a disability slur. So they thought it was going to say. So basically, the actual lyric is retort it,
Oh, okay. I see.
but it's sung by a non-native English speaker. So it's like a weird Japanese slur, and it sounds like it. And they're like, "It's got a disability slur," and basically they just got annihilated on Twitter, being like, "You guys are fucking idiots."
Is it Kotaku?
Take the article. Yeah,
Yeah, Kotaku.
the most reliable source in
Games media.
yeah. And yeah, and then they were just like, okay, so we've heard some backlash, and we've made an amendment to the article. We say it could be this, but we still don't think it is, and it's still up. And everyone's just like, take it fucking down. You're an idiot.
Yeah. No, that really is stupid.
Yeah.
Oh, well, wait, hang on. Is that stuff about Conjuring there?
Oh no, it's just about like the Curse of La Lorna is in the Conjuring universe, except despite it not being marketed as that.
Yeah.
And I think it's probably just the distance it, since they were probably like, this is quite shite.
Yeah. Well, it's marketed as from the producers.
Oh, actually, I've got another thing about Star Wars
What were you gonna say,
Celebration.
Lawrence?
Sorry, what?
I was they made the nun. I don't think they've got much of a seal of class.
Well, the Nun's great.
Yeah, it's great.
You've seen it, Fergus, right?
Do you guys know who Jenny Nicholson is?
No, I'm not aware.
She's this girl on YouTuber, and she like usually reviews like, popular movies. I like her a lot. And then she talked about going to the Star Wars Celebration.
Oh,
And she
she's
basically
one of the people I just made fun of.
no. No. And she went to like the gift shop and to buy something, and the way they do it is like you get given like a badge, and then to get out of the gift shop or something you need to like scan it and stuff, just basically so steal it. And so when she went to buy this item, like the guy that was like selling it to her like hit on her, and she was like, oh no, okay, blah blah blah. But then since she scanned her badge, that guy then had access to all the info on the badge, which included her email, phone number,
Oh, dear.
stuff she's never given out online, and he personally emailed her like asking her out and everything.
Why would you email someone to ask them out? That just seems so
Guy
bizarre. The guy's obviously got a few screws loose.
Yeah, but like the fact that like he hit on her, got put down, and then he was like, nah, still got a chance. I've got a private email. May as well just send her an email.
Yeah,
Let's see that.
Sketchy, yeah. So you tell me he was. It's not like she went. No, she shot him down. She was like, no, I'm not.
Yeah, I think she was like, no, sorry, I'm not interested.
But he was like, nah, I'm gonna email you
Yeah.
anyway. Oh God. Again,
So, yeah,
this is back. Men are.
Oh, you gotta be persistent. You gotta be persistent.
Right, Lawrence.
You gotta be weird and
But
creepy.
yeah, so she said that on Twitter, and then yeah, Star Wars themselves were like, yeah, we're gonna find out who that was, and
Brilliant.
you
Good.
know,
Star Wars themselves. JJ. Bob Iger came
Jaden,
down.
Bob, right?
Bob Iger knocked on the door. Excuse me.
Is there anything you guys are looking forward to in the next few weeks?
Well, I'm getting Mortal Kombat on Tuesday. Mortal Kombat 11 baby comes out.
And game.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah,
that's out. When's that out? Is that on Thursday?
26th?
Next week or something?
Yeah,
Next
it's out
Friday?
Thursday.
Next Friday.
I'm seeing it on Thursday. Yeah. No, I'm saying the Mortal Kombat 11 launch trailer just came out, and it's got the original Mortal Kombat theme. Mortal Kombat. What are you doing? Oh, it's great.
I think that's how we end. We just fade out there.
Oh, it's really, really good. I'm so excited for it. Very excited. I pre-ordered it. So here we go. Gonna play
Getting
shit.
on Switch?
No, get on Xbox One. I'm not playing a downgraded version, okay? I'm playing the version that they
He needs
wanted me to
all
play.
the frames.
Yeah.
Need it on the
Because
go.
I study frame data, so I know how to beat people online. So that's what's on.
You study frame data.
No, I don't study frame data, but it's a big thing in fighting games, alright? Frame data is a big thing.
It is.
Foot saves, man. Foot saves. That's what I'm talking about. Anyway, no, Mortal Kombat, love it. Big fan. Can't wait. I'm very excited. Very, very excited.
You excited?
Very
What are you?
excited.
For what?
Mortal Kombat 11.